Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ, as it is a fantastic day to be a fan of the COD Zombies mode for what feels like the first time in quite a while, as Treyarch has done something that we honestly never expected them to do, and that is admitting they were wrong, cutting their losses, and pivoting back to what Zombies has always been, as Treyarch has announced today that they're shifting development back to round-based Zombies maps for their new games, pivoting away from the negatively received, purely objective-based Dare and Fang and Terra Maledicta maps in Vanguard Zombies, while at the same time adding significant amounts of new content into Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I can't believe they're actually doing this. There's so much to talk about here, so let's just get right into it. First things first, and I think Treyarch is apropos in starting their announcement by saying, it's happening. That round-based Zombies is coming to Vanguard with the release of the first two maps into that game, Dare and Fang and Terra Maledicta. Treyarch says the Vanguard Zombies team is now focusing its efforts on laying the groundwork required to bring round-based Zombies to Vanguard. Of course, amongst the lack of content within Vanguard Zombies at launch, the biggest deal breaker for a lot of people was this wasn't Zombies as we know it. It was some kind of fusing of round-based and Outbreak from Cold War, and honestly, it did not work. It's not that interesting, is not that exciting, and the community was not happy with it. As soon as this game came out, in my very first video talking about it, we came to the conclusion that Treyarch has to pivot away from this. It was a massive failure towards the community at release, it's still a massive failure towards the community now, and I can't believe they actually are doing that. They are pivoting away from this purely objective version of Zombies that the community has near universally disliked here in Vanguard. And I honestly think the only reason they didn't do this sooner, they didn't announce this sooner, was that odds are that second map they released, Terra Maledicta, was most likely largely complete by the time the game came out and Treyarch saw everybody's reaction to this mode. So I figured their idea was, let's release Terra Maledicta and then let's reevaluate where we're at with the community's perception of the Zombies mode. They did that, and they discovered that, yeah, round-based is the way to go for the future of Zombies, at least for now. But there is a pretty massive caveat to this, and that is because Treyarch initially developed Vanguard Zombies for this Dare and Fang Outbreak-style objective mode, they didn't actually develop the systems for regular round-based Zombies on this new IW8 engine. Remember that Vanguard Zombies is based on the newest version of the Call of Duty engine that is likely dramatically different from the engine used back in Black Ops Cold War. So Treyarch does say that about the release of new round-based Zombies content, they're saying up front that it's going to take some time to get into our hands. This involves extensive system development from the ground up in a variety of areas, including the design, implementation, and testing of round-based spawning and AI pathing, zoning system, fast travel mechanics, door buys, wall buys making a return, thank goodness, and many more. They basically got to build the round-based Zombies mode up from scratch because of their initial planning and direction was so off base with what the community wanted with the release of Vanguard Zombies, and that's going to apparently take some time. And we actually do have a release date of when we can expect that first round-based map, which we'll get to in a second, because Treyarch also did announce what that new round-based map will be, and well, I hope you like remakes, because we had Shi No Numa releasing in World at War, then we had a re-release of Shi No Numa in Call of Duty Black Ops as part of the Resurrection map pack, then we had it remastered as part of Zombies Chronicles in Black Ops 3, then it showed up within one of the maps within Dare and Fang, and now it is getting remastered in Call of Duty Vanguard, emerging as what they're calling Shi No Numa Reborn, which will be a dramatically expanded and enhanced version of the Shi No Numa from Vanguard, which will now include a all-new main Easter egg and side Easter eggs, a new area of the map to explore, along with all of the original areas of Shi No Numa as well that wasn't included in Dare and Fang. They also say it'll include a new wonder weapon, the classic flogger trap, and electroshock defenses, reimagined Easter eggs, so Easter eggs from the original map will make a return in some form, new Pack-a-Punch camos, and a new Dark Ether style narrative for the map. And as for the release date, they say based on our current production schedule, we're planning to bring this map to Vanguard after Season 3 concludes, and we can't wait to share more as we get closer to its release. So because of the fact that they've had to pivot, build up this zombies mode from the ground up, it's going to take some time, and we're likely not going to see this map release for another 2.5 months or perhaps even longer, as Season 2 still isn't over, and we have to get through all of Season 3 in order to emerge into this new map's release window. As you can imagine, as they have shifted production away from Daron Fang and Terra Maledicta in that objective style mode, the new content being added into the game with Season 3 releasing very soon will be pretty much minimal, essentially saying that the new weapons that will be added into the Battle Pass can be unlocked in Zombies. There'll be some new Zombies season challenges, bug and stability fixes for the content currently in the game, and well, that seems to be just about it. They're not talking about any covenants being added. They did say that the sacrifice objective will be the final objective added into the mode. That's all with the objectives in Vanguard Zombies, thank goodness. But I would argue that all that doesn't really matter. And who cares about Daron Fang and Terra Maledicta? What's interesting is that next round-based map and the new content that they're adding to Black Ops Cold War Zombies, a massively superior zombies experience, where a slew of Cold War Zombies updates are being planned for Season 3 here. But they begin with an interesting statement that seems to contradict some of the leaks we've been hearing about Cold War Zombies and possibly the Zombies Chronicles 2 map pack releasing for that game, where they say that on the zombies front, we don't have plans to bring additional maps to Cold War for all the reasons we outlined at the start of this blog, where they're working on Vanguard Zombies. Now, of course, you can take that one of two ways, that they're telling the truth here, that the work that has been leaked to be done on Zombies Chronicles 2 has been done, but they're simply going to be delaying the release for their next Call of Duty game, releasing in 2024, likely as Year 2 DLC, as Call of Duty now shifts to a biannual release schedule for their premium games. With that second year of Treyarch's next game being taken up by Zombies Chronicles 2 content, it kind of does make sense there. Or we can say that this is kind of the similar rhetoric they used with Black Ops 3, where Revelations was called the final zombies map to be released for that game, and obviously that wasn't the truth. They ended up releasing Zombies Chronicles. So it'll be interesting to see if they do end up holding true to this statement, if Zombies Chronicles 2 will end up being delayed, but they do make up for it somewhat based on the other content they are adding within this update. These upcoming updates have basically 3 components to them. The first is the Zombies Outbreak mode component, where Treyarch will be releasing new limited time modes into the Outbreak mode, and honestly guys, the limited time modes they're talking about here do actually sound good. Treyarch has been pretty hit and miss with the limited time modes they offered in the first year of Cold War Zombies' life cycle, but it seems like they've learned from that, and the new limited time mode they're adding is called Outbreak Collapse, inspired by the last limited time mode we saw releasing for Cold War with the Halloween event several months ago at this point, that gives you a 10-minute time limit to survive. In that map, it was pretty open. With the upcoming Outbreak Collapse game mode, it's going to force you to a smaller and smaller area of the map as the zombies get more difficult, where you're basically forced with your backs up against the wall in order to survive in a massive Zombies Outbreak style maps. Think of it similar to the Onslaught game mode with the surges, but instead in the Outbreak game mode, they're also going to be adding the Abomination elite enemy that was added into Forsaken. They're adding that enemy into all of the Outbreak modes. It's definitely one of the more difficult elite enemies to take down, so you will be seeing that across the Outbreak game modes when Season 3 releases. But that's not all. It seems like a bulk of the new content that's going to be added into Cold War Zombies, not only with this season, but likely in the upcoming seasons as well, is going to be in the form of new limited time modes for the Onslaught game mode. We're kicking things off in Season 3 with the Onslaught Mystery Munitions game mode, where players spawn in with a random weapon and equip a different randomized weapon after each completed surge. With Treyarch also announcing the names of upcoming limited time modes to be added into Onslaught, where they say that as the seasons continue, players can expect to see Onslaught Accelerated, Onslaught Diminishing Light, and Onslaught Elite arrive across all platforms for the first time. But that's not all, because probably the most exciting part of this whole update for Black Ops Cold War has to do with a new Easter egg being added into the game. In fact, it's not a regular Easter egg, but it is in fact a super Easter egg, where Treyarch says that as for the secret that we mentioned earlier, you'll have to discover its location on your own. If you haven't completed all 6 main quests in the game yet, that's the main Easter eggs on the 4 around base maps in the game, as well as the 2 main quests in Outbreak, let's just say that now would be a good time to get on that. Depending on how many you've managed to conquer so far, over a dozen unique rewards could be waiting for you, including a permanent upgrade in every single Zombies map. So if you've completed all of the main Easter eggs across Black Ops Cold War Zombies and you complete this final super Easter egg, Treyarch will be giving you some kind of permanent upgrade across all the round-based Zombies maps and Outbreak that you don't have to buy, that seems to carry with you from game to game. We don't know what that upgrade is, but it's pretty exciting that it seems like for the first time since I think Black Ops 3, Treyarch will be adding some kind of super Easter egg reward for completing all of the main Easter eggs within the game. In a concluding statement about their current and upcoming plans, Treyarch says this to us, the Zombies community, and the Call of Duty community as a whole. We hope you're looking forward to what we're cooking up for this year, and for what comes next. Thanks again for your support, and as always, we'll see you online. Interesting how they're already talking about what comes next, because as we know, we won't be seeing what comes next for their premium release for quite a long time, till 2024, so you gotta leave us wondering if there's something they got planned up their sleeve to release sometime in between, likely in 2023, of which we covered in massive detail in yesterday's video. So hey, I definitely encourage you to tap out now, check that video out. It has to do with the possibility of a Zombies standalone game releasing in 2023 as what's next for Treyarch. But I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're excited about these changes, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and I'll see you with another Zombies news video tomorrow. Peace.